Hello, I'm Mara Purl, and this is Novel Conversations. And my guest today is the wonderful Bill Bradley. So, the only other kind of writing I wanted to discuss with you is journalism. Um, I'm a former journalist, and as when you're a journalist, you try to keep yourself out of the story and be an impartial observer and really tell the truth. As you know, I wrote for the Financial Times, the Associated Press, Rolling Stone, and some others. um, I'm particularly worried right now about the loss of small newspapers, meaning in small towns, when you have a town council meeting, it's the local journalist who comes to the meeting and reports to the citizenry what's being discussed. If you don't have that little local newspaper, then you don't have that journalist. And to me, that's dangerously erosive of democracy. So I wondered what your thoughts might be on that.
Well, I think that you're right, that an informed constituency is essential to democracy moving the country forward. And we don't always have that now, partly because of the newspapers. At the same time, a citizen has within himself or herself more power than they've ever had before through social networks. The key is, how do you get people to pay attention to your social network, your posts? And that's the challenge. And usually covering it, if people knew, they could go to marapurl.com, or they could go to whatever the podcast is, and would be a summary of the town hall meeting or of the city council meeting. Uh, Not everybody would go to that. Not everybody's interested in the city council meeting, but it should be there for people who want to hold their elected officials accountable.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the demise of small town papers is a real tragedy in this country, and they haven't been replaced.
No, they
Right?
haven't. And the other problem is, how do you get out of your silo? So you've got your news feed, which just is driven by algorithms. Once, like, you liked this pair of shoes, now I'm going to show you 22 pairs of shoes like that. Uh, so there are people who don't know so much of what is going on, or they can't tell what's truthful. How can we use this wonderful sense of unity that you have? How can we try to reestablish that in our way of communicating in our country?
It's a good question that I don't think has a perfect answer. I think it depends on each of us and all of us. And I think it starts with your relationship with other people, and then with a larger group and a larger group, and then with the media, and then with newspapers or whatever. But it begins with you deciding that you're going to take your own interest in trying to understand what's going on around you, and then you can explain it to other people.
And so this comes to citizenship, right? I mean,
Oh yeah,
what
I
are the
mean,
best
democracy.
practices of to be a good citizen? I mean, to Benjamin Franklin's point, you have your republic if you can keep it. So how do we best participate in that sense of citizenship without, it doesn't have to be burdensome, I don't think. I think it can mostly be inspiring, right?
Being a citizen is hard work, but it's great fulfillment as well.
Mm.
And you can say, not everybody's interested in the town meeting or in the city council meeting, but somebody has to be interested and be able to explain it to people, because their interests are at stake and they have to understand. And journalism does that, but it can also happen with individuals who develop their own following in their community, and you develop a reputation for calling things like they are. That
Mm.
you're not out at the extreme of right or extreme of left asserting ideology, but you're just telling us what the facts are and what the options are. And I think that if you can do that in a thorough way, that's your service to democracy.
Okay, the facts and the options. That's so good. Thank you for that.
Yeah.